Assalamualaikum and hello to Dr. Dayanku Rohaya. We are from Group 1 and today we are going to present our MAF253 group project SME Financing and Investment Appraisal. Our group consists of 4 members, which are Nur Adanya Alisha, me, Nurul Safia, Nur Halimi, and lastly Nur Amira Najwa. For Part A, we selected the article factors influencing the SME business success in Malaysia. Let me begin with the first point, which is the specific financing needs of Malaysian small and medium enterprises, also known as SME. SME requires sufficient financing to strengthen their operational capacity and support business growth. Instead of spending large amount of money on expensive infrastructure, many SMEs today prioritize investment that improve their efficiency and competitiveness. As shown on the slide, financing mainly supports 3 important areas. First, it helps SMEs adopt digital technologies such as business management software and digital tools that improve productivity. Second, financing enables businesses to maintain proper financial record management, allowing them to keep accurate financial information and make better business decisions. Lastly, financing also supports marketing strategies, especially through digital platforms, to increase customer awareness and expand their market reach. Overall, adequate financing allows SMEs to operate more efficiently, remain competitive, and achieve sustainable business growth. Next, I will explain the nature of financing problem faced by Malaysian SMEs. Although SMEs play an important role in Malaysian economy, many still experience difficulties in obtaining financing. One of the main reasons is that they often lack proper financial records, including complete accounting and audited financial statements. As illustrated in the flowchart, poor financial records reduce lenders' confidence because banks find it difficult to accurately assess the financial position of these businesses. As a result, many SMEs face loan rejection or are unable to secure the financing they need. Without sufficient funding, businesses have fewer opportunities to expand, invest in new technologies, or improve their operations, leading to slower business growth and reduce long-term sustainability. Therefore, improving financial management and maintaining proper business records are essential for SMEs to gain lenders' trust and improve access to financing.
Now we'll go on to the third question, which is proposed measures and empirical solutions. The first point is government support programs. Schemes like the SME Capability Program and Coach and Grow Program help fix local skill shortages. This is because they provide easy-to-access training and expert advice to help businesses compete. The second point is strategic planning and management. This is a crucial tool to reduce the high failure rate of SMEs in their first 5 years. They help small businesses study market risk and use limited resources wisely. Lastly is cost-effective marketing. Traditional marketing is too expensive for micro businesses with fewer than 5 workers. So social media, which is like Facebook and Instagram, offers a cheap way to reach customers without draining funds. Now we move on to question 4, which is the potential and alternative sources of financing. The first option is personal savings and internal funds. This is a primary choice for most businesses because most SME startups require a small initial investment. This helps micro-sized firms avoid strict bank credit checks and paperwork. The second option is family capital and networking. This is a high availability for those with a family business background. It provides flexible, interest-free money from relatives and skipping tough collateral rules. Lastly is government grants and small loans. Now this grant is aimed at closing skill gaps and promoting fairness across different ethnic groups. This gives resource-backed micro businesses access to subsidized startup funds without the heavy debt.
Good day. I'm going to present Part B, Investment Appraisal Case Study. A. Cash flow estimation. Looking at our phase 1 initial outlay, the total gross cost to get the new machine up and running is 960,000 ringgit. This covers the 850,000 ringgit purchase price, 80,000 ringgit for installation and shipping, and a 30,000 ringgit working capital injection. However, we offset this by disposing of our old machine, which brings in 180,000 ringgit in cash, plus an extra 9,600 ringgit in tax saving. This brings our true total net initial outlay to 770,400. Moving on to operations, our annual incremental cash flow shows strong performance early on. In year 1 and 2, we see a peak incremental cash flow of 257,800 ringgit per year, driven by revenue growth and utility savings. This edges down to 231,200 ringgit in year 3 as savings taper off. By year 4 and 5, despite facing net losses from rising operating and maintenance costs, our consistent 140,000 ringgit annual depreciation tax shield keeps our net cash flows positive at 124,800 ringgit. Finally, in year 5, we closed out with a terminal cash flow of 80,000 ringgit, recovered from the machine salvage value and our working capital. In short, this project offers high initial operational efficiency and strong capital recovery. Moving on to B, investment appraisal technique. First, we look at the payback period. Based on our cumulative cash flow, we enter year 3 short by 23,600 ringgit. Dividing this remaining deficit by year 4 cash flow gives us a payback period of exactly 3.19 years, which is lower than our company's minimum benchmark of 5 years, meaning the project successfully meets our internal requirements for rapid capital recovery. However, the payback method doesn't account for the time value of money or long-term profitability. This brings us to our second metric, net present value, NPV, discounted at our required cost of capital rate of 16%. When we discount our future operational cash flow and our year 5 terminal recovery of 80,000 ringgit, the total present value of our inflow comes out to roughly 728,382 ringgit. Subtracting our initial outlay leaves us with a negative total NPV of negative 40,070 ringgit 28 cents. While the project satisfies our liquidity goal by paying back under 5 years, it ultimately fails to meet our 16% rate of return and will destroy shareholder value. To conclude our investment analysis, we evaluate our final 2 appraisal techniques. First, we calculate the internal rate of return IRR. Since our required rate of return of 16% resulted in a negative NPV of 42,017 ringgit 28 cents, we tested a higher discount rate of 18%, which pushed the NPV further down to negative 72,190 ringgit 8 cents. By interpolating between these 2 points, we find that the true break-even rate, our project IRR, is 30.21%. Because this 30.21% return is lower than our company's 60% cost of capital rate, it reconfirms that the project is financially unviable. This is further validated by our final metric, the profitability index. By factoring our negative NPV against the initial outlay, we get a profitability index of 0.95. This profitability index is less than 1, means the project fails to recover its cost on a present value basis. C. Evaluation of investment appraisal results. Based on result of each investment appraisal techniques, we conclude that the project should reject to purchase new machine. Although the payback period is shorter than the company benchmark of 5 years, it still does not satisfy the capital budgeting criteria as NPV is negative, IRR is lower than the required rate of return, and profitability index is less than 1. A project may have a favorable IRR and a short payback period but still generate a negative NPV because the payback period ignores the time value of money and cash flows after the payback period. While IRR can overstate a project profitability under certain cash flow patterns. Therefore, NPV is the more reliable measure as it considers all discounted cash flow and the required rate of return.
I will explain the capital rationing decision for Green Tech Leather Bahat. The company has a capital budget limit of 1.2 million. Besides the EcoTenner 8000 project, management is also considering 2 additional divisible projects, which are Project Alpha Solar Farm with an initial investment of 1 million and an NPV of 250,000, and Project Beta Water Recycling with an initial investment of 400,000 ringgit and an NPV of 80,000 ringgit. For part 1, we ranked the projects using the Profitability Index or PI. The Profitability Index is calculated by dividing the present value of future cash inflows by the initial investment.
A project with a higher PIs, it generates more value for every ringgit invested, so it receives a higher ranking. Based on our calculation, Project Alpha has the highest PI of 1.25, followed by Project Beta with a PI of 1.2. The Eco Tenure project has a PI of 0.95, which is below 1. This indicates that the project will reduce shareholder wealth and should therefore be ranked last. For part 2, we determine the optimal investment mix under the 1.2 million ringgit capital budget. Since Project Alpha has the highest profitability index, the company should first invest the full 1 million in Project Alpha. This leaves the 200,000 ringgit of the budget remaining. Because Project Beta is a divisible project, the remaining 200,000 ringgit can be invested in 50% of Project Beta, as its total investment requirement is 400,000 ringgit. This investment makes fully utilize the available capital budget of 1.2 million ringgit while also generating a total NPV of 290,000 ringgit, which represents the highest increase in shareholder wealth under the budget constraints. Therefore, we conclude that the Green Tech Leader Berhad should invest fully in Project Alpha and partially invest in Project Beta, while rejecting the Project Ecotenor 8000 because it has a negative NPV and a profitability index of less than 1. This investment decision maximizes shareholder wealth and make the most efficient use of the company's limited capital. Going to question E, which is financial and ESG-based recommendation. First, we have to reject the Ecotenor project because it reduces shareholder wealth with a negative NPV of 42,017 ringgit 28 cents, even though it has a payback period of 3.919 years that is within the 5 years time frame. Second, we have to postpone replacing the old machine. While an upgrade would improve the operational and ESG efficiency, these benefits do not outweigh the financial loss, meaning the company should continue using the old machines until their cash flow improves. Third is that we have to approve the Project Alpha and Beta investment mix. Using the profitability index method just now, which efficiently allocates the 1.2 million capital budget to achieve a maximum NPV of 290,000 ringgit, which satisfy both shareholder wealth and also ESG goals. That is all from us. Thank you.